Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Fragrance Friday. Today I thought I'd talk about some of my favorite powdery fragrances, since powdery fragrances are right up there with cozy fragrances in terms of fragrances that I have the most of in my collection and scent profiles that I really love. Powdery scents tend to make me feel fresh and clean, but at the same time kind of cozy and comforted. They are fragrances that I like to wear pretty much for any occasion. And when I used to work in an office, I truly loved a few of these fragrances for working in an office environment. But yeah, they just make me feel positive, uplifted, and I just absolutely love them. So I have 10 fragrances. I could have done so many more because again, I have so many of these fragrances, and I tried to keep it to one per fragrance house since I have quite a few fragrance houses that Chanel and Narciso Rodriguez come to mind, that I have a lot of powdery fragrances that could take up this whole video. I could do 10 fragrances just from those two houses and have all of my powdery scents. So I'm going to get started with one of my favorites from the house of Chanel. This is number 22. And this is a fragrance that recently re-entered my fragrance collection. It's one that I had many years ago and it's just so beautiful. This is a aldehydic fragrance. When you first spray it on, there's like this burst of just sparkliness, like champagne. It's just really, really pretty. And then you get lots and lots of florals, but not sweet. There's no real sweetness to this. This is like a white florals. I get a lot of iris in this. I know a lot of the fragrances I'm going to talk about feature iris, since that is traditionally a very powdery fragrance note, but yeah, this is just a lovely one. This is one that I wear mostly for going out somewhere like a formal event or even just going out to brunch. I do like to wear it just for myself around the house, and a lot of these fragrances, like I said, are things that I enjoy all the time, but I primarily like my powdery fragrances now mostly when I'm around the house, or there are a few that I wear kind of going out for formal occasions or certain occasions, which I'll talk about. And this one is definitely one that I would wear when I'm all dressed up and I just want to smell super sophisticated, clean, fresh, and at the same time cozy and comforted. So Chanel number 22, absolutely love this fragrance. My next powdery fragrance is one that is a little bit different from all of the others in that it's almost like a gourmand scent, but without all the sweetness. This is from Christian Dior's Prive line, and this is Feve Delicieuse. And I love this fragrance. This is a fragrance that has so many kind of spices. It's got vanilla, it's got tonka. It is very kind of deep and sensual. There's, I think, a little bit of cherry even in this, but yet somehow it is also quite powdery. So I find a lot of the Christian Dior Prive fragrances to be a little bit powdery, and I love that quality about them. This is one that makes me feel super comforted. I love to wear it around the holidays and in the cooler weather, and I've been wearing it a lot lately, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So that is Feve Delicieuse from Christian Dior Prive line. My next fragrance is a iris fragrance from Van Cleef Arpels. This is Bois d'Iris. And this I added to my fragrance collection last year, and it's absolutely lovely. It's very soft, very light, very powdery, and very iris. And there's again, no sweetness to pretty much anything I've talked about, but yet there's something just so delicate and cozy and comforting about all of them. And this one is one that I have been enjoying wearing mainly around the house, but I could definitely wear this to any occasion. And it's just really beautiful. So that's Bois d'Iris from Van Cleef Arpels. The next fragrance I have to talk about is from Diptique, and this is Fleur de Peau. This is another fragrance that I added to my collection last year, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This is a powdery iris, but it also has a little bit of like earthiness to it or woodiness to it. There's something about this. Again, it's not a sweet fragrance, but it's something that is very kind of uplifting, very kind of feminine, and it just makes me feel happy and comforted and all the good things. I tend to wear this a lot when I am at home. It has something in it that I feel like is very sort of grounding. I think there's some amber in this, or ambrette in this, and it's absolutely a lovely fragrance, but it's musky, it's powdery, it's not sweet, and it's something that I really like to just smell fresh and clean. I love to wear this to bed. It's just a really beautiful fragrance. So that is Fleur de Peau from Diptique. Next up, I have one of my cleanest powdery scents, and it is from Narciso Rodriguez. This is Pure Musk, and this is from the For Her line. This is a fragrance that to me just smells fresh and clean, and a little bit musky, a little bit sweet, and just absolutely glorious. It's one that I love to spray on when I get out of the shower. Maybe if I'm going to just spend an evening in reading a book and lounging around, having some tea, I will spray this on, and it just makes me feel happy and comforted and cozy and clean all at the same time. So that is Pure Musk from Narciso Rodriguez for her. Another clean, almost soapy, beautiful, musky scent that I love is from Glossier. This is Glossier You, and this one is a beautiful kind of powdery iris scent. I don't even know what to say about it. I actually went on Fragrantica to look at the notes for this, and it listed like 3 things. It was like iris, musk, and powdery notes. So that's exactly how I would describe it. It's musky, it's powdery, there's some iris, but there's definitely something else in this fragrance. And I feel like this fragrance, when you first spray it on, it has like a little punch, almost like a citrusy punch, but I'm not really sure that there's any citruses in this, but there's definitely something that's very sort of uplifting about this. This is definitely not one, I know a lot of people say they wear this to bed, and sometimes I do too, but I do find it a little bit more energizing than I do kind of, you know, relaxing. So it's really beautiful fragrance, and hard to describe, but it smells a little different on everyone. I think that's sort of its claim to fame, is that it works differently with everybody's body chemistry, so it smells a little different on everyone, but it smells absolutely glorious. I wear it a lot during the day, especially when I'm working from home, and it's just absolutely glorious. So that is Glossier You. My next powdery fragrance is what I consider to be a violet bomb. This is from Guerlain, and this is Insolence. Now, this is the EDP version, and I kind of wish, after hearing people talk about this fragrance, that I had gotten the EDT, because I do find that when I spray this on, I have to use it quite sparingly. It's not something I wear a lot when I go out, because it is a very sweet scent. I would say the violet in this is a sort of candied violet, and you also get a lot of iris in this. I looked up the notes and I saw that there's some strawberry in here, so that may be adding to the sweetness as well, but it is just an absolutely glorious scent that is powdery. It reminds me of my childhood. I told a story about being obsessed with the color purple, but I missed the most important part, which is actually that my mother was a gardener and we had violets all around. She too was obsessed with violets, but in a different way. She had violets growing in the garden outside. We had African violets inside. And so, yeah, we both shared a love for purple, but for different reasons. I have no green thumb. I kill everything I try to grow, but I have kept alive some palms that we have outside, but we live in Florida and palms do pretty well, even without a lot of love and attention. But yeah, I love this fragrance. It is just a beautiful kind of powdery iris and violet scent that just makes me happy, so happy, and I absolutely love it. Another irisy, violety fragrance that I just recently discovered and am obsessed with is from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Feminine Pluriel. And this is a fragrance that it actually was not love at first sniff. It definitely has those notes that I mentioned, some powdery florals, but it has some other florals in it, as well as some patchouli and I want to say vetiver and just some other kind of earthy notes kind of combined with it. And so I get very little sweetness in this fragrance, but it is very powdery. It is very clean and fresh. And it's one that after I had a little sample of it and after kind of wearing it a few times, it really grew on me, and now I love it. And that is Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Feminine Pluriel. My next powdery fragrance is one that I have been wearing for many years. I've had several bottles of it. This is from Prada, and it is Infusion d'Iris. And this is a fragrance that opens up with a burst of freshness. I would say you can definitely smell the iris, but you can also smell like some citrus notes. It's really uplifting. It's one that I used to love wearing to the office. It just made me feel happy and energized and clean and fresh. And at the same time, like I said, cozy and comforted. It dries down to just a beautiful powdery iris fragrance. And it's just an absolute timeless classic for anyone who loves iris fragrances. I think this is a great one. So that is Prada's Infusion d'Iris. And my last powdery fragrance on this list is one that I don't think gets enough attention here on YouTube. This is Thalia from Parfums de Marly. And this is a beautiful iris scent. I know a lot of people get a lot of orange blossom in this scent. I definitely picked that up as well, but I think it is just combined so lovely with the iris. It is just blended to perfection. There are other notes in this that kind of give it a little deep darkness, almost like seductiveness. I know there is some incense in here and some woody notes. There's also some vanilla, and it's just beautiful. It's a little bit sweet, but not too much. It's a little bit powdery, but not too much. And I feel like it is just such a gorgeous fragrance, really sophisticated. This is something that I would consider to be like a boss lady scent for sure. And one that if I did work in an office, I would definitely be wearing. It's one I feel you can wear to just about any occasion. I have been wearing it around the house and going out in the evenings, or even going out in the daytime, having lunch with friends, things like that. It's just really, really beautiful and such a well blended fragrance. I can say that about all of my Parfums de Marly fragrances. They are one of my favorite fragrance houses, and this is one that does not get enough love and attention. That is a Thalia from Parfums de Marly. So those are my top 10 powdery fragrances. I would love to know if you have any of these fragrances and what you think about them, or if you've tried them and what you think about them, and if there's any that you feel like I am missing from my collection, let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to talk fragrances, and otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.